Welcome back to Might Be Manic, where we spiral, but we spiral cute. I'm Mackenzie, and I'm glad to see you again. This is for the misfits, the chaos creators, and the people that always ask why and say, I don't have to do that. I don't have to listen to you. Because we don't. Okay, so we're going to just jump right into it today. This is actually a bonus episode. Welcome back to Might Be Manic, where we spiral, but we spiral cute. I'm glad you're back. I can't wait for this tonight.
If you've ever wanted to say what you really think without worrying who's listening, this is your sign. Welcome to Private Calls with Mac at 3 a.m. No face, no filters, just truth. You won't know the questions in advance. You just have to be brave enough to answer them deeply. It's your time to speak from the heart, without a mask, without a name. Guests are chosen on a case-by-case basis, and you must be 25 or older. You'll sign a release, and if you expose your identity before, during, or after recording, the episode disappears. Instantly, no exceptions. This is your chance to be heard without being seen. If that sounds like freedom to you, message me. Maybe you'll be my next secret saint. Just remember, there are no saints after 3 a.m.
Ready? A bonus episode! It's not Sunday, but it might still be manic. It's not your business, honestly. So I have two besties, and I'm loving that I'm having male and female besties. Tiara said being a stay-at-home mom means waking up already at work. There's no clock in, no paycheck, no good job. At the end of the day, just lots of meals, meltdowns, and messes, and mental checklists. You're a chef, therapist, teacher, housekeeper, emotional anchor, and most of it goes without thank you. You do everything, you still question if it's enough. It's lonely, it's exhausting, and labeled not real work, but without it, most families would fall apart. Oh my gosh, dude, that is so true. Valid. I'm not a stay-at-home mom, but I have stayed at home with my kids before, and oh my gosh. When I first started working outside the house again, it was like a godsend because I'm gonna say it was easier to go to work with adults, do the things I had to do and leave. So like, shout out to you, girl, because that's a lot. Like being a stay-at-home mom is a lot. I'm sure you're great at it. You know, as women, I ask myself often, I'm like, at the end of my life, will I feel like I used it well? Because I'm not a stay-at-home mom, but I've been a single mom for over 13 years. And gosh, it's so unfair. It is so unfair. There's no way to do it right, but you can do it wrong. And they don't forget to tell you. And at the end of the day, at least with my kids, everything's mom's fault. I salute you. Being a woman can be extremely unfair. And just remember that no one could do it but us. So keep it up, girl, because I admire you so much. You got it. And that made my heart hurt when I read it. I had to pause. Damien. What's up, Damien? Similar. He said single dads live on a tightrope. We're expected to provide and be present, often without any support. Miss work for a school event and you're irresponsible, work overtime to pay bills and you're absent. Most parenting spaces exclude men. You know, I don't know at all. Like, I really true. The space is for men. And you know, if you're a single dad, you deserve support. And I never thought about it. At the end of the day, we're all parents trying to get our kids to in adulthood and the freedom to do what they want. Any parent that tries is a good parent. You're present. Cheers for Damien. Now, we're going to do something new. Hero of the Week. This week's hero is the kind of strength that reminds us what resilience looks like. This person has spent the last 2 years living through more loss than most face in a lifetime. The kind that cracks the floor beneath you and dares you to keep walking, and yet she kept stomping. She showed up. She said, tell the devil that I'm up, again and again and again. And she navigated heartbreak, family tragedy with a grace that didn't come from pretending everything was fine, but from refusing to let grief define her story. This bestie didn't just survive, she grew in the wreckage and she still finds joy, chooses kindness, and believes in love when it would have been easier to stop. That's why she's our hero of the week. Strength isn't about being unshakable. It's about shaking and standing anyway. It's breaking but not breaking down. This person is living proof of power. Here's to you, bestie, for walking through fire soft and choosing grace when life gave you every reason to choose bitterness and reminding us all that resilience is a muscle we build by surviving. Our hero of the week is Lorraine. She's our hero of the week. Guess what? The current moon phase, it's waxing gibbous, which is fun to say. Every time I say waxing gibbous, my kids repeat it like 10 times. Ever since I got lip filler, they like when I say certain words, so I'll be like, gibbous, like, say it again. About 86% illuminated tonight, steadily growing toward the full moon in Aries. That will be arriving on October 13th. This is a period of momentum. It asks us to strengthen what we've built, adjust our goals, and channel our energy. Last deep breath before final achievement. For water signs, that's us. What's it? The moon awakens heightened emotions and deep intuition. We might feel more empathetic and sentimental or creatively inspired. I have been. I'm doing book rollouts right now, and I am inspired. While this emotional clarity is powerful, it can also blur boundaries. Use the night's energy to express feelings through art, healing, or compassionate action. Protect your emotional space so you don't absorb others' moods strongly. For fire signs, your natural drive intensifies under this waxing light. Passion, courage, and ambition are surging, making the perfect moment to finish something bold or to take action. And impulsive leaps may scatter your efforts, while strategic planning may ensure your fiery push becomes long-term success. For the earth sign, the moon steadies your energy, helping you refine systems, budgets, and routines. This is a practical phase of building strength and stability, which is ideal for reviewing progress and fortifying foundations. Ground yourself in organization, hard work, and mindful reflection on what truly supports your ambitions. So it's just like a normal Monday for y'all. For air, ideas will flourish and communication flows easily. The waxing gibbous moon stimulates conversations, creativity, and collaboration, making this the perfect time to share insights or network. Just take care not to scatter your mental energy across too many projects. Focusing on one key idea will help you translate inspiration into tangible results. In the end, the waxing gibbous moon encourages every sign to polish, refine, and prepare. Whatever you've been trying to do since the new moon is ripening now. Tend to it carefully, water those plants, baby, and under the upcoming full moon, you'll see your efforts reach full illumination, which sounds good to me. As long as it pulls in a check. So tonight we're pulling the curtain off of the music industry, and we're exposing some of the most people feel but rarely say things. Because pop stars are not born, they're built. I'm obsessed with Hollywood because I'm from the 90s and I still like celebrities. I really do. I make my life really fulfilling. I'm fascinated with celebrity culture. This is something I could go on about forever. Like, I know so much about so many celebrities. I feel like I'm in there. People think it's weird to be obsessed with Hollywood. I'm weird. And I might be manic. That soul is nice. Is that what you bought for me? This is the price of pop. This is the fame alchemy. This is how to build a star from scratch. And yes, the devil wears Prada contracts. Okay? Andy, that's all. Every glittering celebrity moment you've ever witnessed, the hair, the scandal, the comeback was completely controlled. Think CIA. Nothing when you're famous is by accident. Even if it's supposed to look like an accident. There's certain things that they've done that I have done with my own personal rebranding, like hair theory. You want to make a statement. You want people to remember you a certain way. Hair theory has changed my life. So tonight we decode exactly how that machine works and why some people become icons while others disappear into the darkness. The first step is visual rebirth, hair theory, or the ritual reinvention, which is exactly what I did in 2024. It's the shedding of the old identity so the public can meet a new one. So when your reputation has gone to complete crap because you've just let your freak flag fly a little too much, you use these tactics. Hair theory is, it always works, okay? So hair theory is basically what celebrities use when they want to be remembered. So when they're emerging in their career, think Ice Spice, think Lady Gaga, think Nicki Minaj, think Beyonce, think Lil Uzi Vert, think Post Malone, think Rihanna, think Doja Cat. People will remember you by your hair. If you have memorable hair, people will remember you. Immediately, people will be interested in you. I changed my hair. I had tried this color 4 other times and I didn't like it. I finally said, I'm just going to wear it and see what people say. And it became my thing. I will never, ever, ever, ever have black hair again. Hair theory changed the way people see me. Hair carries energy. People change what they think of you when you change your hair. I used to change my hair often. but not to anything that absolutely stands out. As far as in this town, I don't know of any black girls out here like me. If they do it, you know what? They're trying to pull the Mac. Just kidding. But seriously, I'm that petty. Madonna built an entire career on this, and every haircut marked a new era. Rihanna, every era. Hair isn't just fashion, it's storyboard. Storyboard. Rockstar Rihanna, Umbrella Rihanna, Only Girl in the World Rihanna. Remember when she had the braids too? Doja Cat shaved her head and eyebrows and instantly transformed from internet rapper to performance art. Sabrina Carpenter's Barbie core blonde, not random. It's a calculated step into a hyper-feminine archetype that algorithms adore. You change your appearance, it don't matter what you've done in the past. People want to believe in the good of other people. They don't want to associate you with that because it already fell out of character to begin with, right? When you change your appearance drastically, bygones are bygones. You get a fresh freaking start. It's not vanity, it's just alchemy. A metamorphosis designed to make us believe something profound has shifted, even if it's just marketing. So, chaos as a career strategy. So, no star ascends without a stop the scroll moment. And that's rarely accidental. And this is absolutely true. And I think that this is what a lot of people confuse, which I'm not going to get into a lot of things because like I said, I have a lot of respect for celebrities. I'm not going to say crazy crap about them. I don't know. But what I will say is I think that a lot of people confuse with selling your soul, because I think that if you think a bit about it in a metaphorical way, kind of like the Adam and Eve story, it's not literal, okay? If I was to say like, my music's not taking off, so I'm just gonna come out with a pop that song, okay? Which I could. If I ever felt like I was desperate, like I really, really want to get on, I would come out with a gimmicky song. I would come out with a WAP. I just couldn't. God. I've never even made it through the whole song of WAP, dude. I don't understand it. I tell my kids, like, I have nightmares about my kids hearing that song someday. I told them, please, God, don't. So Scandal is a marketing tool, and the oops moment is a rollout, like Madonna's Like a Prayer backlash that didn't cancel her, it crowned her. Doja Cat's Say So. And honestly, when she came out with Demons, I did not like the video. Just like I didn't like Kim Kardashian with the Santa baby thing. I don't like symbolism. Like, I'm very big on protecting my spirit and my soul. But once I listened to the song, same thing with EXO Tour Life by Lil Uzi Vert. I was able to understand it on a different level, but only after I went through a certain period of isolation and suffering to where I could identify with what they were saying. And now, Demons by Doja Cat's one of my favorite songs. And it's because it's so true. Like, now that I am different, what do you have to say about my past now? Like, how my demons look? Because I'm telling you, I was the number one hated person I've ever met in my life in like 2019. And like, if everyone just forgot, I didn't. And just know that I didn't. I will never forget. I don't forget. And I'm big on revenge, so just know that. So Sabrina Carpenter, she had the espresso drop, and it was perfectly timed before a global tour. So these viral moments are the lightning bolts that power the myth, and labels know how to bait outrage, manufacture curiosity, and create content that begs to be stitched, duetted, and dissected. But when a moment doesn't land, careers stall, like Normani. Insanely talented, fizzles because the story wasn't cohesive. Tiara Marie was everywhere. Tiara Marie was supposed to be the princess of Rockefeller? Def Jam? I don't know. She was supposed to be the next one, okay? And then when she was up there with Rihanna and somebody else, I don't remember who it was, and Beyonce told her. And that was it. Tiara Marie is now on Love and Hip Hop. It's just like, dang, girl, can you imagine being almost Rihanna? But nobody could be Rihanna. Sorry. So Rihanna got the machine's full weight, and Tiara didn't. Let's talk about the devil in the details, literally the soul-selling conspiracy that isn't as far-fetched as it sounds metaphorically. Pop stars don't meet demons at crossroads, but they do sign contracts that trade autonomy, privacy, and authenticity for reach, relevance, and worship. And once you sign, there's no going back. Now, for me, did do I passed the life accident and health insurance exam in the state I live in, and there's something called group life insurance, which basically is like what they call in Hollywood the death clause. So if I have a restaurant, okay, and I hire Gordon Ramsay, well, he's my head chef. If he dies, I lose where I'm getting all my income from. So I can take out a group life insurance policy on him. And if he dies, I receive a full payout for any monetary losses I have incurred, might incur, or potentially could incur in the time it takes me to find somebody else, or just in result of him being gone. This theory that if you are not working, you would be worth more than you are. Mm, I'd be out there working like Beyonce for real because I would be so afraid that I wasn't an asset anymore. And, obviously, bodies age, you get older. And then you can do like the greatest hits and things like that. But it's like you see these people like Bob Dylan that just never stop. Man, I see Mary J. Blige in those heels, bro. And I was like, girl, I can't even believe she's doing it. And it's just like because you want to make sure you're an asset. I would be very afraid. That's why I love, like, seeing artists become more innovative, like, I love what Beyoncé's doing, it's genius. I'm not saying that they're doing this to people, but it's genius to keep giving us some new flavor because she is valuable. She's a very valuable asset, and I just wanted to say, K. Michelle also deserves credit for doing country. I've been doing it for quite a while, and it's really good. I love it. I love it. Well, let's move on. So we have people talking about things like the Baphomet hands, the inverted crosses, the checkerboard floors, and they're not always random. Sometimes they're controversy bait and sometimes rebellion against purity culture, but often they're narrative devices designed to paint these artists as larger than life, mystical, or divine. Also, there's a lot of celebrities that follow Aleister Crowley. Now, if you look into these things, Aleister Crowley is fascinating. I actually learned about this from Jay-Z and I started practicing it in aspects of my life. Aleister Crowley has a saying, do what thou wilt. And a lot of people in Hollywood believe in this. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Now, if you're an appropriate person, you should be able to do that. When you have billions of dollars, I don't know that anyone can be trusted to do that. But to each their own. Basically saying you will not reach your destiny following social norms, and you won't. So now, when I want to do something or don't want to do something, I do it. Do what thou wilt. I do what I want. And I don't explain it. I don't have to. For example, like in grocery stores, it's just awkward for me. I hate being there. You know, like walking past people who are looking at something, and I would be like, act like I was apologetic for simply existing in the store at the same time as them. And I don't do that anymore. I just walk past. And if I don't want to talk to somebody, I don't. I don't care if they say hi or not. If I don't want to talk, I just don't. I don't have to. If I don't want to go, I don't. If I said I'm going to go and I decide I don't want to at the last minute, I have every right to change my mind. I will do whatever I want to do all the time. I'm not going to continue living my life tiptoeing around other people's feelings because nobody does that for me. Like nobody. Literally nobody. I've never had someone like me. So I decided to start doing what I want. And a lot of celebrities do the same. And that's where people kind of get angry because they're like, who do you think you are? You're so arrogant. But them doing that got them where they're at now. So can you blame them? There's a lot of these beliefs. And also, Carl Jung would say that this is our collective shadow projecting itself. So wanting to hate celebrities, us wanting to say they're evil is your shadow, our shadow projecting on them. See, for me, I'm a firm believer, like shadow integration changed and saved my life. It's the reason why I have no regrets and I don't feel bad about anything. And I think that scares a lot of people. They wonder why, you're able to move like you didn't do all the stuff you did back then. Oh no, it's because I'm cool with it. I'm cool with all of it. Like, I truly am. But we'll talk about shadow integration another time. But a lot of times when you can accept the parts of yourself that you hide in the shadows, the part that, integrity is like, what do you do when no one's watching? Well, when no one's watching, all of us are somebody else. And you're only you to you. When you're not comfortable with parts of yourself, you hide them. You don't want to discuss them. You don't want anyone to find out. You project it on other people like they have to be bad too. And not everybody's nasty goes as low as other people's nasty, and some other people's does and goes lower. But it's not our job to decide what they're practicing or what they're putting in our face. Talent alone made stars, and Normani would be way above, like, I don't know, Carrie Hilson. But fame isn't really about skill, it's about story. Just being good at something is not enough. Just like loving someone is just not enough. There needs to be other things. Sabrina Carpenter's ascent is cohesive narrative. Doja Cat's chaos, strategic. Madonna's reinventions, relentless. Rihanna's scarcity, mythic. Doja Cat. I like her music. I'm able to separate the art from the artist. But a lot of Tierra Marie, she lacked a defined identity. Normani's momentum died from delays and confusion, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard a Normani song. I know she has a song called Wild Side, I think. I've never heard it. I think that if she would have handled the stuff with Camila Cabello a little more vocally, it would have been different. But she handled it classy, but forgettably. I don't remember her saying anything, really. So anyway, audiences just don't really want songs. We want sagas, and if the arc isn't clear, then the story ends early. So there's a lot of archetypes of ascension, and every star fits a mold because those molds work. So there's the rebel priestess, Madonna, Doja Cat, you know, the troubled child, defiant, like, yeah. There's the untouchable muse, Rihanna, Beyonce, you know, Tiana Taylor, like, just, you know, Jhené Aiko, up, like, whoa. Mariah Carey, okay? They have the it girl next door, Sabrina, I guess Ari. Relatable but rare. Then we have the tragic star, Amy Winehouse, you know, Tierra Marie, but she's like down there on the D list, down there, like tragic. They use pain as a spectacle, which, does anybody listen to Tierra Marie? Don't lie. It's the same thing that stinking Carrie Hilson does, which is like, girl, no. Because you and Sierra should have just been models or dancers. Like, I don't know why you had to be singers, just like Cassie. Like, that's like me going to be an auto mechanic. The industry knows we crave these archetypes, and it's not manipulation, it's mythology. So you'll see people follow the same pop star plan. Now, there's redemption and rejection. Let's talk about Lizzo versus Megan Thee Stallion. The public doesn't reward talent, it rewards narrative, and nowhere is that clearer than with Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion. They both have Grammys. They both got body. Lizzo, the redeemable hero, she embodies the lovable underdog archetype, empowerment, vulnerability, and joy. I did not like Lizzo. I was really upset about the banana shooter crap and all the Amsterdam stuff. I was like, we already have men making our, you know, life crazy for you to go and find these girls on TikTok and, you know, give them a chance. You've been on the show on Amazon. You're pushing their limits. You're pushing their body autonomy. And I just don't like that. But then also it's like, girl, you know, you auditioned to go with Lizzo, right? You know, her outfits and stuff on that show when she said, you guys need to get naked and do this photo. I would have been. You hear me? I would have been like that because I know what I'm signing up for. I didn't really like her. And then when, you know, the banana shooter crap and making the girls dance in ponchos 16 hours, allegedly, I was like, wow, are you going to apologize or are you just going to lose weight and rebrand yourself? And she lost weight and rebranded herself, which is great. And then she went on Jay Shetty's podcast and she answered every freaking question I ever had. And I just really was able to forgive her. Like, I don't know. We don't know what's true and what's not. We don't. But as women, you know, either her side or them, either way, it's women breaking each other down one way or the other. And we really need to make sure that doesn't happen. And I think her response was really like straightforward. She got in front of it. You know, she said she was in an off season, so she couldn't address it at the time. And that she was just like learning how people like her in small doses and how she enjoyed social media and couldn't anymore. And it was really nice to see that interview. So when she messes up, you know, people want to forgive her because she is able to own up to it, you know. And even amid the scandal, her story says flawed human trying to do better. She gives so real. And people forgive familiarity. And Lizzo feels like a friend. She is a reminder that, you know, you can do it. Take doors down to get in there. You know, I often think about how hard of a time I was fat too. How hard of a time Lizzo got. And how when it came to Queen Latifah, she handled it with silence. Because I remember when I was a kid, people said like Queen Latifah was like the biggest lady. And now I look at her and I'm like, girl's a size 12 or something. But there's two different ways of handling things. And then Lizzo screamed it in her face. But both kept it authentic. Now, Megan Thee Stallion, you know, she gives unapproachable power. I mean, she was built as the untouchable alpha, you know, strong with sexual energy, unapologetic, and in your face. Society still does punish women who don't perform softness. How Everyone has a right to be themselves. And after the Tory Lane, instead of empathy, she got a lot of skepticism, which I'm not going to comment on that. Once the audience sees a woman as too strong, they kind of stop rooting for her. Her hot girl coach persona sells some records, but it doesn't build forgiveness and equity. And honestly, it's really crazy to me how these female rappers cannot sell music. It is baffling to me, that your job is being a musician and you literally cannot sell albums. Didn't Sweetie sell 12,000 units? 12,000 units. I have 60,000 downloads on DatPiff. And I'm just a mom, okay? I'm an esthetician, you hear me? So I don't know, but I think there's a lot of differences between Megan and Lizzo, and Megan Thee Stallion. It's not because of her, she's just not likable. I don't know, she's just not. I don't like her music. I don't. But I don't even know how to dance at all. So I don't know. I think that too much music is the same. Misogynoir casts a lot of Black women as aggressive or dramatic, and Lizzo's fun and Megan's angry, and society wants women powerful, but not too powerful, and sexy, but not sexual, which I don't even know how you do either. I honestly asked ChatGPT, I was like, am I sexy? And she was like, hell yeah. And I was like, what? Because I don't know how to be that. I don't even know how I would be that. So I don't know. I guess it's you got it or you don't. I don't know. I don't know how you be sexy but not sexual. I'm not sexual at all. But ChatGPT says I'm sexy. So I was like, for real? She said, hell yeah. And I was like, it's getting weird. I'm done. So Lizzo weaponizes joy and she's forgiven, and Megan weaponizes rage, which she has every right to be upset. The system shapes who we're allowed to love, forgive, and destroy. So Lizzo gives people a story that they feel safe cheering for, and Megan forces you to confront bias, I suppose. And in pop culture, forgiveness isn't earned, it's engineered. Honestly, go against Nicki and it's gonna yeah. So let's talk about the most manipulative trick of all, the manufactured scarcity. So Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Lotto, be Lotto. I love Lotto, though I do. And Ice Spice. Man, I wish that Lotto would get more play, dude. She gonna make it. I like Lotto. I do. And she's a Leo, but I still like her. And, Ice Spice, which it's just drown already. And versus Nicki Minaj it's not real beef, it's strategy. Because honestly, Ice versus Nicki, please, baby. Ain't nobody coming for Nicki. So Nicki didn't just enter the game, she rewrote it, she rewired it, she owns the game. And being the blueprint means every newcomer wants to rival her, which I wouldn't. You're stupid if you do that. You're gonna lose. But the Barbers don't play, we don't play. And the throne narrative exists to create competition. Now, Cardi, crickets, crickets, crickets. I said Cardi, anti-Nicki, Megan, Lotto, Ice Spice replacements? Wait, did you just say they could be replacements? Sorry, baby girl. Nah. I don't care how manic I get. I'll never think none of these females could replace Nicki, okay? Bands become soldiers, absolutely, and artists become chess pieces, 100%. Cardi's, perceived charisma and commercial appeal make her easy to market. I will say Cardi B is a very intelligent investor. Megan's power polarizes. Lotto has momentum, but no defining brand. And each is rotated in and out of the spotlight in its controlled visibility. Ice Spice, more than a one-hit wonder somehow. Everyone predicted Munch would just be it, but somehow she's still here. And she's honestly keeping visibility really well. I saw her on the Kate Spade commercial. Ice does understand visibility and virality, features appearance, proximity to bigger stars. But she's still re-auditioning every era, and the industry hasn't even really recognized her as anything more than like a Natalie or a Paula Deonda. And, then there's Nicki's shadow. The system hasn't replaced Nicki, and it never will. Every rollout exists in her orbit, and they don't want a successor. They want a cycle. And, manufactured monarchies is all it really is. The pop rap world isn't a free-for-all. It's a pageant, and the judges aren't fans. They're the executives. They get to decide who gets the budget, and then they push whoever they want and who becomes an algorithmic footnote. So the throne isn't necessarily real, it's perceived, but the war is semi-real. The stakes, they decide who becomes iconic and who's remembered at the moment. So what is the price of pop? Well, fame is a transaction, and it's Something's always traded: sanity, privacy, childhood, control, whatever it is. They find your vices, prey on them. We see a lot of things. That's why the soul selling story persists, because deep down we all know that it's true in a metaphorical sense, because you do have to do whatever they say. You're going to have to put on the costume. You're no longer Mackenzie, you're Mac. And Mac is born. That was my soul is Mackenzie. That's what they're talking about. And, maybe it's not the devil in a red suit, but it could be in a boardroom. There's a devil we all know. And maybe the crossroads isn't a dirt road, but it's a contract clause. And maybe selling your soul isn't literal. It's just what happens when the world stops seeing you as a human and starts seeing you as public property. So the question isn't, did they sell your soul? The question really is, which you? Y'all don't want to ask me that question, okay? Because that's why God doesn't let me have everything. And I'm Lord of that. I don't know. I mean, it's like, and I didn't realize everyone doesn't want fame. Like, my ex, I was asking him, is he famous? He said no. I literally was shocked. Doesn't everyone want to be famous? No. He said no. He said he would hate it. I just knew from that moment on we wouldn't be able to be together. So anyway, you guys, let's take a deep breath, because if you feel like we've just summoned evil spirits, it's not that. That's us shifting together. Now let's all take a deep breath. If you feel like you're being taken over by the spirit of Hollywood's past, it's not that. That's us shifting together. Okay, so here are 3 little gems for you to spiral on for the rest of the evening. Every bedtime story and scraped knee kiss is building the voice in their head that says, I am loved. Oh my gosh, don't do this to me. I love that. Next one. Am I still protecting myself from a threat that no longer exists? And do I cling to my pain because I fear who I would be without it? Okay, good. Bruh. Okay. Yeah. Besties. What a one viral. So whether you're about to go put a price tag on your soul or read a book, go to bed, that's all I have for you tonight. I appreciate you. Keep your foot on the next baby girl. And for the record, I absolutely am.